Hey everyone, what's up? We're gonna do an early prediction on this fight. The Spence fans, I don't know what you guys are smoking on, man. I really don't. It's not bud. That stuff is laced with something else. I'm just telling you straight up. You guys are brainwashed. You're in Stockholm Syndrome. I don't know what kind of nonsense you cult members are on when you talk this boxing. I really don't. You guys superimpose attributes that Crawford possesses on Errol Spence. I don't understand that. He does not make adjustments. The man don't even counterpunch. What are we over here talking about? The fundamentals, the jab, we've showed you on film countless times. But now I guess Spence makes adjustments. He has this high boxing ring IQ, and you know, given his opposition that he's been given, he's always been set up to win, guys. If you don't see the matchmaking aspect of his resume, I don't know what to tell you. You know, Sean Porter was supposed to be your coming out party. You were a minus 800 favorite to win that fight. You understand? You were supposed to dog walk him. The montage before the both fighters walked out, it was clearly a montage to set up Errol Spence. They showed Floyd Mayweather, you know, how he was the highest seller. And then they tried to give you a passing of the torch scenario where this is the next star right here. You know, we'll see if he breaks Mayweather's records. And then he came out with that performance, guys. You went life and death with Sean Porter. You did not try to fight Sean Porter's fight, dude. You understand? You got your jab taken away. You finally fought a fighter that had athleticism, foot speed, hand speed, had versatility due to his athleticism, and you could barely deal with it. You resorted to being a step back counter left fighter, and you tried to land that step back counter left all night, guys, and you were missing all night. You finally got Sean Porter into a scenario where he took his eyes off you. You were able to hold his head down, you understand, and then catch him with a punch while his eyes were still down. If he would have saw the shot coming, he would have probably avoided it just like he did all night. And on top of that, after you got Sean Porter's glove to touch the canvas, Sean Porter's been knocked down before, guys. Adrian Broner knocked down Sean Porter. Sean Porter's nothing special, guys. Nothing special. He's just a hard worker, dedicated. He happened to be with the organization that controlled the belts. He got to fight for titles time after time, and you've only been a two-time champ in 10 years. Zab Judah was a 5-time champ. You know what I'm saying? And we ain't sitting here saying that Zab Judah is a Hall of Famer. And he was a 5-time champ. You guys are glorifying a dude with politics that became a 2-time champ. With assistance became a 2-time champ. Hardly any title defenses. You can count them all on one hand. Ugas, Keith Thurman, Danny Garcia, and Sean Porter, combine all their title defenses together, they don't have as much as Terrence Crawford. You understand? And that's at welterweight. We're not even including the other divisions that Crawford's been a part of. But dude, you got exposed during the Sean Porter fight. And to be quite honest with you, for people who pay attention, if you pay attention to his past fights, nothing really that special at all. But as we started this video off, your dude relies too much on will. He's had to go to will too many times. The other guy, he first tries to beat you off of skill and everything else. You know what I'm saying? It's very rare that you got to see Terrence Crawford rely on will. And I mean, and when he does get to that point, when he is pushed to that point, he shows you that he can raise his level above all these dudes. Sean Porter, Keith Thurman, that's a close fight. Keith Thurman only landed like 2 more punches than Sean Porter, but still, it could have gone either way. Keith Thurman, Danny Garcia. Sean Porter, Danny Garcia. Sean Porter, Spence. They're all the same level. Those fights can go either way. There are people that believe that Shawn Porter beat Spence. There was no clear distinction between them. There was no real separation between any of those guys. And you're trying to tell me that just because he fought a checked out Danny Garcia to Ugas for 4 losses, go watch the Delorme fight. Don't even watch any of his losses. Just go watch the Delorme fight versus Ugas. If they didn't take like 3 or 4 points from Delorme, I don't think you could have justified the win against Delorme, guys, when it came to Ugas. We've already talked about this. These dudes ain't going to give you their essence and spirit. They're not going to do nothing for you in the ring, bro. They're just not. But I've not had to see Crawford rely on will as much as I've seen Errol Spence rely on will. Crawford has more tools in the tool bag. He has more God-gifted ability. The other guy is a button masher, guys. I know you guys used to play video games. You used to play Street Fighter. You used to play Mortal Kombat. Some guys you play, they're actually skilled. You understand? They know that when this dude does a jump kick, I can hit a Shoryuken on him, and he'll counter the jump kick every time. And then you had those type of players, they spam, like an Errol Spence. They're spammers, aka button mashers. They only know like 2 or 3 sequences. You know what I'm saying? Only 2 or 3 movesets, and they spam you with the same crap all night. That's Errol Spence. Square, square, triangle. Square, 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 triangle. Square, triangle. Square, triangle. Square, square, triangle. That's all that bum does all night. There is no adjustment. He just does the same thing, spams the same button combinations, but harder. Square, square, triangle. Square, square, triangle. Square, 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 triangle. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing. That's my new name for dude. It's square, square, triangle. That's all he does. Square, square, triangle. If he does bring Terrence Crawford to the point where he does have to rely on will, again, I've seen this dude power up and become something that I know Spence cannot handle. You barely could handle Shawn Porter with his nonsense. Shawn Porter was highly accurate versus Errol Spence. Highly accurate. I don't care what the punch stats said. I could see that they weren't counting punches when Shawn Porter was landing. You understand? I could see that they were giving Errol Spence credit for punches that weren't even landing. He would just be throwing the jab, 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 square, 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 square. You understand? You're a button masher, bro. Nobody cares about your button mashing. Give me 1 second. This fight's overhyped, guys. It's not going to live up to the hype. It's not a 50-50 fight. I'm sorry. This is just like Mayweather-Pacquiao. Now listen, it was still a tough fight for Floyd. Don't get it twisted. It was still a tough fight. Manny Pacquiao's a very formidable guy. But the style matchup is what was the problem for Manny Pacquiao. You saw when he fought guys, boxer punchers, you know, especially when they stood in front of him and tried to punch with him. Manny has the better athleticism and the better speed. You understand? His offense became his defense. He's just going to do what the Phoenix Suns used to do back in the day. We're going to outscore you. Play no defense. That was Manny Pacquiao, but when you were forced to fight a fight against a guy like Floyd, a cerebral fighter with high boxing IQ, a guy that cuts down your volume, it made for a pretty boring fight. Now, the thing about Spence, again, you don't have Manny Pacquiao's versatility. You don't even have Shawn Porter's versatility. You know what I'm saying? You don't have any special real effect other than stamina. Your durability, I'm sorry, I have to question. When you are literally kept away from power punches your entire career until you feel it's safe to put him in there with him, that tells me you don't have a chin. You've been knocked down multiple times as an amateur. You basically got technically knocked down in your last fight. The ropes cannot save you. That's a technical knockdown. And then the ref interfered twice during that sequence on Ugas to assist you getting out of that round. And to be quite honest with you, I think they stopped the fight because they didn't want you to further get hurt or anything like that. You already spit out your mouthpiece. Your little button mashing wasn't really getting Ugas out of there. Yeah, you beat him to a pulp as he stood there in front of you. But the stoppage came at like just some random offbeat time. You know, they're just wait time. I'm pretty sure the ref got the nod, you know. You kept the ref pretty busy that night. Like I said, he had to assist you stop the action, let you get your mouthpiece back in. Even the announcers were yelling at the ref, like, what are you doing? Some of that was Ugas's fault too. Because, you know, he didn't step on the gas. He was probably perplexed, like, what's going on here? The ref stopped me for one time. You understand? And here he is stopping the fight again. I'm pretty sure the ref did kill his momentum. You know? He just standing there looking at Spence after you got him hurt. But I noticed a similar sequence with Danny Garcia as well. But no, I don't think this fight is what you guys think it's going to be. I think it's still going to be entertaining. Don't get it twisted, especially the first few rounds where they're playing the chess match with each other. But when he starts landing clean punches on Spence, you're going to see Spence's whole demeanor change up. He's going to be against a guy he's never been against before. Terrence Crawford embarrasses Olympians, guys. Gold medalists, it don't matter. Against Sean Porter, Errol Spence called him a drowning street fighter. You understand? He said he was more technical and all this stuff. You are not the more technical fighter in this fight. I don't care who you are or what you say. It's on film. You make mistake after mistake after mistake after mistake. I watch guys like Lamont Peterson piece you up and put sequences on you. I watch guys like Leonard Bundu piece you up and put sequences on you. I watch guys like Ocampo piece you up and put sequences against you. And you have to resort to low blows, guys. I don't see adjustments. I don't see any of this crap that you guys are talking about. I see an overrated fighter who's a top 5 pound-for-pound fighter just for marketing reasons. Again, I don't see Lomachenko have to resort to low blows. Who's in the top 5 today? Even Canelo. I don't see Canelo have to resort to low blows when they're getting pieced up. You're a guy who moved down in weight, and you got pound-for-pound status for beating a bloated lightweight that moved up 2 weight divisions. That's not pound-for-pound. That's called marketing. That's called suggestive selling. When I look at the film, I don't see what you guys see. I don't see these adjustments in high boxing ring IQ that you talk about. I don't. I don't drink the fucking Kool-Aid, and I just cursed. I've gone a pretty good while without cursing on a video, guys. But again, your cult member brainwashing, dude, I'm not influenced by that stuff. It does not affect me, guys. You don't have punch placement and timing. You're a button masher, no matter the situation. Again, we'll go back to video games. I know when a dude jump kicks me, he's in the air, I just use the Shoryuken, it's going to counter the jump air movement every time. Spence button mashes no matter what, and it's the same sequence. You're not an alert, aware fighter. This is another thing you guys don't understand. And this goes back to his durability. Your reaction time ain't that good, man. If you just watch even sparring footage, the dude freezes up on combos. He does it in his fights. All you got to do is throw punches, he freezes up. And he's too reactive. Then he waits for guys to stop. Then he tries to throw back. We told you he's a dog you can bring into the grocery store. Not a real dog. He's a well-trained, groomed dog. Do you understand? He's been groomed. You weren't brought up in the ocean. Again, you're brought up in the fish tank. You didn't have to fight killers. You didn't even have to go up against other power punchers. If you do your research, you see the guys that he fought, they don't have high KO percentages. And these dudes are still hurting you like Sean Porter, like he did in the 4th round. Barely hitting you on the top of your dome. He hit you more so in the forehead. You still got buzzed in that round. And he was going body head on you. And you gonna tell me Terrence Crawford ain't gonna be able to go body head on Spence? You guys are crazy. You don't know how to finish. Because you know if you try to finish and be aggressive, you're gonna get clipped. Even when you go back to Lardy, you only got clipped because you tried to be aggressive. You're only gonna get Terrence Crawford hurt in this fight if you land a lucky punch that Terrence Crawford does not see coming. Do you understand? But if you're spamming, if you're button mashing, square, square, triangle. No, Crawford's gonna clip you, dude. Square, 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 triangle. You're not ready for Terrence Crawford, dude. You're not ready when a guy can hit you at will, hit you in openings that you're not even aware of. You're an unaware fighter. You're an unconscious fighter. You have a routine. You are repetitious. You don't adapt. You hit guys in their balls when they start piecing you up. You get them where they can't move, and then you throw the same combinations all night. You're over here throwing 300 body shots. I don't see dudes getting knocked out to the body. You sit here, you hit a guy in his eye 200 times, I would hope that you'd be able to break his eye. And it's not the jab that's breaking eyes, guys. It's the left uppercuts, left hooks, those type of things when he gets on the inside. But again, the way he drops his left, you can time him with the right hand, and your right's gonna beat his left before it gets to you, especially when he gets into his unconscious routine. I know you guys were, you know, it's the cool thing to like Errol Spence, I get that. But the dude is not who they say he is, he's just not. You're a boardroom fighter. You're a guy that the TV suggests is great. But when I watch you, especially when it's your time to shine, you're not great. You're a little bit above Sean Porter. You're a little bit above Danny Garcia's and guys who are already checked out. And you yourself are on the same path as those guys, Keith Thurman. I got some pretty cool clips that I'm already piecing together for the film stud, or for the highlight video. Because, you know, we like to tell a story when we do highlight films. And I think these clips, they're going to be like, whoa, this guy's explaining himself. This guy is describing himself when he's talking about Keith Thurman. Just a little FYI. But no, this guy is a make-believe character. Your music mogul, Al Heyman, he thinks the same thing he's able to do with these rappers and everybody else. You know, give them a new image and everything. This is what he's done with your guy, Errol Spence. And Errol Spence there for a second was getting lost in that make-believe and that Halloween. You understand? Your mommy, daddy did not raise you to be the guy that you portray yourself as on TV, guy. I'm sorry, you're over here paying for these dudes' flights, drinks, getting these dudes to spend your money. But you ain't like them dudes. You weren't raised up like those dudes. I'm sorry, you just weren't. You were not. I don't know what you're trying to prove as a 30-something-year-old man. You don't have footwork. You can cut the ring off, I give you that, but you're not a good finisher. We saw that against Lamont Peterson. You're able to cut the ring off quite nicely, but you can't pull the trigger. You can't end the man. You understand? You had Lamont Peterson hurt early in the round, and Lamont ended up being the guy that was beating you and piecing you up by the end of the round. You just happened to get the knockdown that round. And it was the same with Sean Porter. Okay, you knocked down Sean Porter. What do we got to do next? Oh, Sean Porter bum rushes you. He takes the fight to you. And there's really nothing you can do about it. Again, I don't see this killer that you guys are talking about. I see a guy who was given the right opponents at the right time. And when you were expected to be that dude, again, you fell short. And it's going to be the same thing on July 29th. You're going to get exposed. Like I said, the first few rounds, they're going to be tactical. That's going to be the most, tension in the fight. But Terrence Crawford is going to pull away. When you try to come in, close the gap with square, triangle, Terrence Crawford going to counter you with the Shoryuken. I'm trying to tell you. You're not ready for what Terrence Crawford has for you. He's not a button masher. Sean Porter's a button masher. You're a button masher. Even against Mickey Garcia, button mashing. Mickey Garcia could see all your punches. That's why you couldn't get him out of there. Sean Porter only got clipped when he took his eyes off of you. You know? You can see what this man's doing. You're not getting guys. Tank at least gets guys out of there. Terrence Crawford gets guys out of there. Deontay Wilder can get guys out of there. Errol Spence, what are you doing? You're button mashing. I gotta watch you button mash all night? And dudes ain't even getting out of there? Come on, guys. Come on. Button masher is not ready, guys. He can rate Terrence Crawford's chin as a, what do you give him, a 4? And claim that his opposition is 0.5. He can do all that. He can try to convince himself in any way, shape, or form that he deems possible. But you're not ready for this fight. You're finally in the ring with the guy that you've been afraid of for years. I'm sorry, your daddy didn't even want you in the ring with Terrence Crawford. He's over here doing interviews on LDBC channels. And then they, loose lips, they're the ones that are telling us what's going on behind the scenes. You're telling them you don't want them to fight Terrence Crawford. You know what I'm saying? And then word gets out. I remember when they met in Oklahoma. I don't typically like throwing people's names out there. But after Oklahoma incident, Trill, 78 and all them dudes, they were all scrambling. They're like, man, this dude's ducking. I can't believe it. They scrambled. They got Errol Spence on their channel at like midnight that night, guys, to address what everybody just saw. You understand? We saw this dude sit here and become Keith Thurman before our eyes. Again, when this man starts getting clipped with clean punches, when he tries to close a gap and he's getting clipped and he's just gonna back up and reset again and try it over again, when he realizes button mashing ain't working, then he's gonna try to button mash harder, because it's all he does. It's will. It's not skill. He doesn't make adjustments. He just button mashes harder. I'm trying to tell you, it's going to be an anticlimactic fight. It's not going to live up to the hype. And it's hard to bet on this fight. The Sean Porter fight, I was able to get right. We posted our betting slip on there. Correct round. This one, it's like I want to cover rounds 4, 5, and 6, because I think it's going to end early. But it would not surprise me if Errol Spence walks into a big shot even earlier than that. I'm trying to tell you, this man don't have awareness. This is why him and Derrick James, whenever they talk about tactics going over this fight, the only thing they're telling you is focus. We got to stay focused. We got to stay focused. They ain't telling you nothing. They're denigrating Terrence Crawford and his skill, acting like it's nothing, but at the same time, they're telling you we got to stay focused, because they know the man gets clipped. I'm going to try to cover rounds 4, 5, and 6 on the prop bet, because that's the only money to be made on this fight. Vegas is also saying that, you know, it's like plus 180 if the fight ends before 10.5 rounds. So you have the 11th round to make some money. It's only like plus 180. That this fight doesn't go to the 11th round, guys. That's a pretty good safe bet too. But I'm trying to tell you, we always try to be accurate on this channel. I'm thinking this dude may get clipped even earlier, man. I'm trying to tell you this dude's not ready. You've never had to be in this type of fight. You're in new territory, buddy. You're not on little Al Haven's little infamous matchmaking where he's setting you up to win. This is a little different story, guys. You're in there with a guy who's the real deal. He don't win the popularity contest, but he is the real deal. And like I said, it's like I may have to cover the first 6 rounds. Because again, I don't think it goes to 8, guys. I really don't. It's a different ball game when you're getting hit by somebody who hurts you. You're not going to be the same guy. You're just not. People sit here and they say, look at Sean Porter. He was so different because the style matchup. I think Sean Porter had a more formidable style just because of his movement, athleticism, and he takes care of himself, things like that. Errol Spence, you don't take care of yourself. You're in the club with an eye patch on, guys. Your sparring partner took out your eye. Again, I saw Sean Porter body head you. And you're trying to tell me Terrence Crawford can't body head Spence? Get out of here, man. You guys need to stick to those activist channels you listen to. They don't focus on boxing. They focus on activism. But on this channel, we focus on, what's it called? Boxing. We don't do the hating that you do. We use film. These other channels that you guys go to, you don't go, they don't use film, guys. I'm sorry, they don't. They talk about Terrence Crawford being top ring Toby and all that. They don't tell you the skills. I'm trying to tell you, man, this one's kind of hard to tell. I don't know what round he's going to go out in. I think it could end early. It's like, to be safe, again, I'm going to cover rounds 4, 5, and 6 with the prop bet. But, again, it would not shock me if this dude gets, like, knocked out in the 3rd round, 4th round. I don't think the man is a conscious man. I think the dude is unconscious most of the time when he's in that ring. Again, I've never seen Terrence Crawford get lost in a boxing ring looking for his mouthpiece and forget that he's in a boxing match. For you dudes that like to still bring up Gamboa. We'll come back with more, guys. I just don't see it. I really don't. I don't see this being the matchup that you guys think it's going to be. Unlike the Floyd Mayweather versus Manny Pacquiao fight, this one is going to have fireworks, but I think it's going to be one-sided. Again, first few rounds, yeah, Spence's little volume. When he unleashes his whole tricks, his bag of tricks, you know, square, square, triangle, square, 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 triangle. After Crawford figures out that those few movesets pretty easily, he's not only going to take away the jab, he's going to take away your little body punching and closing in the distance, because he's going to start clipping you coming in. And that's what I'm saying. I think this one might be an early night, guys. That's all I got to say. We'll talk to you guys later. You know. But I don't see what you see. I really don't. I don't see your dude through the love eyes that you see Errol Spence through. I don't see nothing that you guys explain. I don't see a dude who makes adjustments and all this nonsense that you guys talking about. And again, I don't even trust the durability. You've been fighting guys that can't punch. Spence reminds me a lot of Juan Lopez. This was a guy, you know, he used to sit there, let opponents just tap him up. And he was fighting guys, you know, they allowed him to duck Gamboa. They were protecting him from Gamboa and things like that. But he started partying with Tito Trinidad. You guys should go look up his story and look up his career. And then he ended up just being a punching bag. Very similar to Errol Spence, in my opinion. Very similar. But we're gonna leave it there, and we'll come out with some more videos later. This is my morning rant on my commute to my job. We'll talk to you guys later. All right, bye.